This is the reason why your lottery wins have stopped and how to fix it. Or this is the reason why your manifestation tools or your whatever you're manifesting has stopped and how you're going to fix it. So let's go with the lottery. So if everyone knows, my name is Mark Haughton. I teach you guys how to expand your mind, to use your subconscious mind to create whatever you want, and I did that by winning the lottery. So if you follow my channel, you should be very aware of that. So the lottery, and I've got a lot of emails and questions about this topic, so I decided to do it today just to show you so you can get some insight on what's happening. So there are two reasons your lottery wins will stop. First reason is that you're about to manifest a big jackpot. Sometimes when the universe is about to deliver to you what you want, it seems like everything's stopped. You're stuck. It seems like the energies are not moving. But what's actually happening is that momentum has been changing, and you're shifting, and you move into that new level to achieve or grab what you've been wanting to create. So that's the first reason. So if you're experiencing that, fine. The next reason it stops is because of this. It's because you are creating too much resistance. How do I know that? Hey, it happened to me when I was manifesting my lottery jackpot wins. I went through the same process, so I know both sides of the spectrums really well. So I'm going to show you what's happening here. So what do we create resistance? Here's what happens. You may be holding on too much to the outcome of it. You may be holding on and trying to figure out when it's going to happen. You may be holding on and trying to say, I need this money. I need this win. I am desperate. This win will set my life free. This win will make all my dreams come true. Next one. The lottery is unrealistic to me. It's a fantasy. I am living in a fantasy world trying to achieve something that I know I'm not realistically able to get. Those are the reasons they will stop, because with those reasons, you are creating resistance and you're pushing away what you want from coming into your life so you can manifest it. So how do you fix it? Well, I'll tell you my story. I got to the point where I was seeing so much synchronicities that my ego, and here's a big key, your ego can get in the way of your manifestation. My ego got into my manifestation because my ego kept trying to pinpoint a date I would win. And I would fall for that trap every time. Because I was seeing so many synchronicities, my mind would calculate, well, Mark, you're seeing 8s and 7s. Oh, your win is around the corner. It's like a week away or 2 weeks away. But in reality, my win was actually 9 months away. But during that time, I was being bombarded, but I kept believing my ego, and then I kept getting disappointed. And the more you get disappointed, the more you get desperate. The more you get desperate, the more resistance you create, the more you move away from your desire. And even when the more you get desperate now, your goal becomes unrealistic because you're not seeing it happening. You're like, it ain't happening. What's going on? You know, this can be used for all parts of manifestation. This can be used for just life in general. The lottery is just an example, but anything you're manifesting, you cannot be desperate, you cannot get needy, you cannot try to look for the specific outcome at a particular time. You push it away. And I was doing that, and once I realized I was doing it, I stopped doing it. So how did I fix it? I just accepted that what is to be will be. I put it out to the universe, and I expected it to happen. I didn't expect if it was going to happen. I knew it was a matter of when it was going to happen. So the time thing I didn't care too much about. I just trust the process. By trusting the creative process, I knew that one day I must win. That helped me from being attached to it. Because listen to this. How this stuff works is this. Once you put something in the mental and you do it with repetition, it's impressed upon the subconscious. It must become into your perceived physical world. Why? Because the physical world is a reflection of your internal world. There is no physical world. There's only the mental. Mind creates matter. So if I do something over and over and it gets into my unconscious, I know for a fact it's going to come out and it's going to manifest. So you may want to start doing that. The majority of reasons why people get stuck when it comes to manifesting the lottery, using their mind and the subconscious, is because they get carried away with time. They get desperate and they get needy. Now let's talk about the part about unrealistic. The next thing I did, I had to change it. When I was manifesting my lottery jackpot, I wanted to buy this car and win the lottery to do that. And even though I believed it, right? it wasn't really realistic to me in a sense, because I kept thinking about, like, how is this going to happen, man? Is it possible the universe can make me win something that they say has the odds, and I'm going to buy this car? What about the timing? What if the car gets sold? So even though I believed it, there was still some doubt, which made it unrealistic for me. So I had to switch that, and I had to flip that. So how did I fix it? I started to go into the mind of how the universe and physics worked. And when I understood that mind creates reality, and I said, oh, if I impress this on my unconscious, then it must become true. And then I started to look at everything as below me. I was above everything. The win wasn't above me. Winning the lottery wasn't above me. Manifesting anything I want wasn't above me. Everything now was realistic to me. Then I looked for evidence of it. I started to watch other individuals who won the lottery using the law of attraction, using their submind, using all. And when I watched those things, it just gave me more fortitude to understand that it could happen for them, it could happen for me. And that made my dreams and my desires now realistic. See, when something is realistic now, it's in your paradigm. Now your mind can believe it to manifest it. So that's very interesting, you have to understand. So ask yourself this question. Are you manifesting something that's unrealistic to you? How do you fix it? Look for evidence of whatever you're manifesting to show proof to your conscious mind, which in turn is directed to your subconscious. In other words, everything we want to create or manifest, someone has already done it, have it. So there's plenty of evidence out there you can look at. And the mind just wants to see a possibility, and you bring it down. The next thing, you may be living too much in the fantasy world. That's what makes things unrealistic. The fantasy world is you're looking at your dreams as if they would complete you. That's going to create resistance. Nothing can complete you because you're already completed. There is nothing to complete. There's things that can add to your completion. It's an addition. It's nothing that's going to make you who you are. So when you're going to create anything, you got to put a mental image and see that thing as realistic or normal. So I started to look at the lottery as a normal thing. Like, it's normal for me to win. I should win. It's going to happen for me. I expect to win. There's nothing abnormal, because in quantum theory, I know that reality is generated by my mental aspect or my thoughts. And my thoughts create all these different possibilities, known as a superposition. And within these possibilities exists the winning ticket, the winning combination. All I had to do was place myself in there in a state of being. What's the state of being? I felt as if it was normal for me to win, hence I continued to play in my budget, and I let it go. Next component people fail to do when they don't stop their winning stop because they create resistance, they fail to let it go. Let it go means exactly what it says. You did the job, let the creative process work. Letting it go means start to focus on something else in the meantime. I did that, I let it go. Got to a point that I said, man, screw this. And I just bought tickets, and I didn't think about the lottery too much. I was just more focused on my regular life now, doing things that would make my life better. But always in the back of my mind, I knew what I had planted was the lottery. I let it go. So those are the reasons people struggle. And this may be the reason why you've stopped winning, because you're placing so much resistance and pressure and expectation upon yourself, and you're leading with the lower mind, which is the ego, and you're not trusting the creative process. Everything has a creative process. The universal creative process is 100% accurate and efficient. The conscious creative process is inefficient. It's tainted. That's what we tend to follow, because that's what our minds use with our five senses. So you want to keep that in mind. So if that's for you, then now you can change it. Now I said the other thing, your wins may stop because you're doing the opposite of what I talked about, which is you're doing the right stuff. You've been visualizing it, you've let it go, and to you it looked like, hey, my wins have stopped. It hasn't stopped now. You're changing the momentum now to experience what you just put out into the universe. And that's a good thing. When you see the synchronicities and you know that, feel it inside, like, okay, I've completed this, I've done all I can, I'm just going to stay in the moment and just focus, then it will start to organize and it will happen. I experienced that too. There was a point where nothing happened for about 3 to 4 months. I wasn't winning pretty much anything, and that was my point of my momentum changing. I had to let it go. And then after 3 to 4 months, going into the 5th, towards the end of the time I won, it was within like a month or a half or 2 months, boom, I hit it and I won it. And it came out just as I said. Remember I said in the mental creates reality? When I visualize this stuff, man, it manifested the exact way I visualize it. So that's something for you to take note of, and you can use this in all aspects of your life. Whenever we are going to create anything, we're going to manifest anything, guys, there have to be a sense of detachment. There have to be a sense of making it realistic, and there have to be a sense of trusting the creative process. Once you do those three things, trust the creative process, make it realistic, detach and let it go, those three components will always 100% bring anything into your world, because you are not creating energy that blocks it. We are energy manipulators. We create our world through our thoughts, our feelings, and emotions. We are energy transferers. We constantly give off energy. That's how we create our world. Energy works different aspects. There's high, low energy. Energy can bounce. They can resist each other. They exist in high waves, low waves, positive, negative. We're always interacting with these energies. And sometimes we get into the resistance because we don't accept what we already have. And that's the trick to how the universe works. The universe says you already have it. Hence, why are you trying to create something you already have? If you do that, you're going to create the negative energy, which is the resistance. So keep that in mind and go out and manifest your dreams. Happy manifesting.